Hi guys. As it's Friday, I'm going to be doing a bit of a behind the scenes today, where I'm going to look into one of the things that was a massive game changer for myself with my own personal health journey many years ago, and that is the importance of sleep and a bedtime routine. Now, I know when you hear the words bedtime routine put together, we tend to think of either children, toddlers, or babies. But afraid to say it, us adults, we also would benefit from having a more rigid, regimented routine bedtime. Making sure that we get enough good quality and quantity of sleep is crucial, not just for losing weight, but for putting on muscle mass, for making sure that our hormones get the chance to balance out, and also in order to help improve our mood and our outlook. So people who are able to cope with maybe 4 or 5 hours sleep may think that they're okay. Psychologically, they might be able to still show up and perform, but I guarantee that same person would perform way better and feel way better if they got an extra couple of hours. For men, the minimum hours of sleep that we ideally need is 7. So many people I speak to who are executives and business owners, because of the pressures that they have, the amount of hours that they work, trying to then be a father, be a husband, maybe, there's so many things that pull on our time and on our attention that we can often get stuck in the trap of using sleep as a tradable asset to get other stuff done. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, I do that, don't worry, almost all of the guys I speak to do this, but the issue is that we need to figure out a way to improve the quality and quantity of our sleep, to try to hit that magical 7-hour window so that we're giving our body the best possible chance of recovering and repairing so that we get the best results and feel the best. So think about how many times you have dinner, you sit down, maybe you chuck on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney, whatever your choice may be, and you sit there and you watch TV. You're trying to unwind. And then before you even know it, somehow it's gotten to be midnight. It's gotten to be 1 a.m. And you don't even feel tired potentially, but you're just like, oh, I suppose I should go to bed. And you go straight from watching the TV straight to bed. And then you have an awful night's sleep. You can't switch off. Your mind's still racing. You get woken up at 4 a.m. with a sudden remember, oh, I've got this to do tomorrow. And then you can't go back to sleep again. This is so common. I hear it from so many of the men I speak to. The problem with getting a bad night's sleep is that one bad night's sleep can raise our cortisol levels, our stress hormone levels, by up to 75%. And that's important because cortisol is directly linked to insulin. And insulin is the main hormone that dictates whether we're going to lose weight or gain weight. So when we're trying to be healthy, when we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to get fit, if we don't prioritize our sleep, we are going to literally be undermining all of our other efforts whilst we're awake, because the body is just going to be fighting a very uphill battle. That's not to even mention how a bad night's sleep will impair our decision-making skills. So a lot of people think that it's just willpower and motivation, but it's also down to our habits. But if we aren't getting enough sleep and we're tired, and because we're tired, we're feeling a bit stressed, we're feeling anxious, we're feeling worried, we're feeling overwhelmed, you are not going to have the energy to expend on thinking critically about the decisions you're going to be making that day around food and drink and what you are thinking, how you're responding, how you're reacting. All the decisions that we have to make in the given day are going to be sabotaged by the fact that you're exhausted and can't make clear decisions. That is very likely to increase the chances of you reaching for the soda, the Red Bull, the caffeine throughout the day into the late afternoon and early evening, and making poor food choices, grabbing a snack, eating those fast, easy, convenient foods that make us feel like crap but are just there, so we buy them. All these things get impacted when our decision-making is poor. So with all that in mind, hopefully you'll now understand just how important a good bedtime routine is in order for you to get good quality and quantity of sleep. So my tip and my approach to bedtime routines with my clients and with myself, figure out when you have to wake up. If you have to wake up at 6 a.m, count back a minimum of 7 hours to 11 and go, right, that's the last point I need to be in bed, head on pillow, trying to sleep. Then ideally set an alarm for an hour earlier, so 10 at night. That alarm, when that goes off every day at 10, is going to remind you to turn off technology. When we turn off technology, we give ourselves that hour or minimum half an hour window before we go to bed that allows our brain and our body to start winding down. It basically allows our circadian rhythm, which helps control our sleep and wake cycle, to operate normally. If we use tech right up until bedtime, the light from the technology and the fact that we're keeping our brain so engaged and active is going to mean that we aren't winding down for bed. So again, it's like having a cup of coffee just before bed. It's going to keep you awake and it's going to sabotage the quality and quantity of your sleep. I get a lot of people that ask me, what should I do with that hour? They've always watched TV until bed. So now they're like, what do I do with 60 minutes of free time? So you could read, You could stretch, you could meditate, you could breathe, you could have a conversation with your partner, with your kids, with friends, with family. You could read a book, you could wind down. There are so many things you could do, and all of them would be better than using technology just before going to bed. If you can implement anything that I've just talked about and it helps you get a minimum of 7 hours, please let me know if you find it helps, and let me know if you feel like now that you're getting more sleep, you're feeling better, both mentally and physically. I'd love to know. Have a great weekend, guys.